Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode from BreakTurn. We're here in a newer spot. We're at the Connect building here in Nashville. Amazing building. Definitely got to come check it out. They've got this awesome demo lounge kitchen area. We're actually hosting our first BreakTurn pop-up event today, so we're pretty excited. But we have a awesome guest with us here today, Mr. Nick McMillan from Delta Airlines. Flew here last night to come and chat with us. His name was given to me by a buddy of mine, and he has a profound, topic to talk about in terms of AMPs. I know next to nothing about the AMP, as you will, as a certification, and I'm really excited to have a conversation with Nick about this. So thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate you coming out.
Thanks for having me, Landon. I'm really excited to talk about this as well because there is a lot of programs built around pilot programs. And when everybody gets on an airplane, they see the pilot. Perfect example, my wife is a child psychologist, and we're doing a family event. And one of the questions that came up was, hey, what do you do? Oh, I fix airplanes. Oh, somebody does do that. Yes.
Yes. Yes. For now, until the robots take over. Even then. Somebody has to do the job. That's and right. It's not displayed, it's not advertised, it's something you kind of come across. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm really excited to come over here and talk to you about that as well. I'm excited too, because I know whenever we say aviation, right, break turns, we help service members transition from the military to the civilian aviation industry, right? That's a large category. It's very niche, but it's a large category. A lot of people think of what we call above the wing stuff, right? So pilots, flight attendants, maybe some ops, ATC, whatever. But there's a lot of below the wing stuff that's so paramount and so important. And there's a lot of military folks that are, and I'd ask your opinion, fully qualified, I'd say, in terms of just people. They may not have the right plastic card, but they're fully qualified to explore these jobs, but they're just not as well known. And that's what I want to talk about. So
absolutely. And if you take that farther, I mean, one thing you won't get trained in the military is to be a flight attendant, but you got the pilot section. Then you get into the mechanic section. Mm-hmm. When you start thinking about large aviation, even the motor pool, ground support equipment, that starts playing into it. So there is a plethora of jobs that are available, even if you're not directly related to aviation. So there is lots of jobs that are the service members qualify for.
I love that. All right, before we get, I want to introduce, so I was HSC commander, so you said ground maintenance, and I'm like, I didn't even know that. So, all right, this is going to be great. So real quick, before we get going, can you tell everyone who you are, what you're currently doing, kind of your expertise, maybe a little bit of your background, just so we can get an idea of who you are, if that's cool.
So again, my name's Nick McMillan. I was born and raised on a big farm in Texas.
Nice.
So animals don't take nights, weekends, or holidays off. So that got old real quick.
Yeah.
So I joined the military. I was a helicopter guy.
Okay.
So rotorhead.
What was it? What was your aircraft?
Chinooks.
Okay.
47s.
The old big old bus. Let's get there. How many people could fit on a Chinook? One more.
Always.
One more. Sorry. Go ahead.
Standing or sitting, that's two completely different conversations.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I did that. I got out like all the military members. What we do is we always just pick up government contract work.
Okay.
And we go out because you don't need a certificate. You don't need a license. There's no training. You just go and do the work. Mm-hmm. So you take off your uniform and you put on blue jeans and you go do the work. Mm-hmm. And it's the same, 12, 14-hour days, 7 days a week. There's no holidays. There's no vacations. So that kind of gets old real quick.
Yep.
So I got out. And believe it or not, just like most of us, I avoided aviation because of the bad taste. Mm-hmm. Everything's late. It's always your fault. You know what I mean?
Dirty, yeah, all that.
All the hours, the 3 a.m. Formation call because somebody had a DUI.
Woof.
The good things.
Yeah, the good things. It's
so
cool.
You get out, and aviation has this bad taste in your mouth. So you kind of, after I did my contract work, I was like, nope, I'm out. Not doing this anymore. Mm-hmm. So forward about 3 or 4 years later, I was like, crap, I need a better job to support my family. Mm-hmm. I went, I got my certificate, my A&P.
Okay.
And I got picked up by Delta. Well, actually, I was picked up first by a Forest Service work, doing Forest Service, putting out forest fires, flying all over the United States doing that. Then I got picked up by Delta. And commercial aviation for the military is vastly different.
Okay.
That's so paramount for them to understand.
Okay. That's good. So let's just go there. So
right off the bat, I mean, you said it's vastly different. So I've had a lot of people, like I said, my brother was a crew chief on Blackhawks, and he said the same thing, almost verbatim. He's like, I'm not working aviation, I'm not working maintenance. And I get that, right? To each their own. I fully get it. But when you say that the like military side and the commercial side is different, like unpack that. Like, how is it different? I mean, because these people are like, how's it different? I work on aircraft. You know, what could be different about it? Like, explain that if you don't mind.
So the work on aircraft, yes. It doesn't matter if you're a rotor head guy, if you're Air Force, if you've done, you know, the normal C-130, C-160s.
Yeah.
It's all, once you start working on aircraft, yes, aircraft become the same. But it's about the condition, you know, and all of ours across all the branches. Even now, I work with everybody from every different branch.
Okay.
Now it's the same story. You're always late. There's never parts. Nothing's on time. You're mission critical. 3 a.m. roll call. I mean, it's just.
I thought that was just my unit. I didn't know it was everybody.
That's everybody. And that's the thing. So when you get out, do you want to do that?
No, thank you.
That's what's taught to us.
I get it.
This is aviation.
Yep.
It is not. I have parts. I have tooling. If I need something, they buy it. There is safety equipment. There is no 3 a.m. roll call. You have a set schedule. You come, you work, you do your work, you go home.
You go home.
The benefits, all of our benefits, we're not talking, you know, the $3 an hour pay for that
Right.
24-hour schedule now.
Yes.
We're talking 6-figure jobs.
Wow.
These
That's
are high
profound.
in-demand skilled labor that we picked up in the military.
Yeah.
These are 6-figure jobs.
And if you work, this is something new to me on the pilot side. If you work more, do you get paid more?
Imagine that. There's
What?
overtime. There is an 8-hour schedule. Past that, it's
Money
overtime.
bags, money bags. Yeah. Well, it's interesting because as you talk about it, and again, we talked earlier before we started, is that I don't know much of anything about the A&P and all this stuff. So this is all like, I'm just very interested in all this. When you say it, it makes sense because in the military, obviously it's you know, Department of Defense, right? War, all that stuff.
We signed up to do a job. Our focus was
Right.
not to make money, not to,
Right.
you know, provide for our family. We signed up on a voluntary basis,
Yep.
knowing that it was going to suck.
Yeah, and exactly. And not to say it's not funded well, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, figure it out, make it work, right? You know, at Ranger School, they'd give you a broken saw, and they're like, figure it out, Ranger, you know, figure out how to get this saw to work. And it is what it is. On the civilian side, though, it is the customer experience, right? But it's also profit. We live in a capitalistic country. So you're funded for parts, you're funded for safety equipment, you're funded for all these things, and it's there for you because if you don't have it, the company doesn't make money, right?
So with your A&P certificate, now you become a skilled labor. You become worth more.
Okay.
So now they have a cost associated with that. Do I want you to fix that saw, or is it better and cheaper to go buy you a new saw and provide you the tools?
Oh my God, that's a good analogy because that would never happen in the military. It'd be like, I just figured out.
Saw doesn't work, figure something else out.
Yeah, a single fire saw. Yeah.
Now with like Delta Airlines,
Yeah.
I'm now a developer instructor, so I train a lot of the new mechanics coming in. And it's, no, I don't need to fix the saw, go buy a new one. It's cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Don't fix the wrench, go get a new one.
Yeah. It's almost like your job is backed by a system that's like, hey, we need this. We need you to be able to do your job and do it well. What do you need to do it? Instead of like, hey, if you need a red exit, and we'll put a part on order and it'll just sit there, be a hanger queen type thing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we even do that. So if you think about it, red exit, so now that's a parts plane.
That's parts bird. Let's go. Yeah, that thing's getting, yep.
Capitalist economy. We're
Yeah.
in it for money.
Yeah.
So the skill set that you learn, absolutely. We know that you can do it.
Yeah.
We know that you can make it work.
Right.
There's some days where that does happen.
Yeah.
We have line maintenance where
Sure.
you do have to make it work.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
But you have that skill set now.
Yeah.
You learn that in the military. You become worth money now.
So to rephrase that, you're saying that for the military men and women that are in maintenance now, whether it's aircraft maintenance or ground maintenance, you know, your ability to problem solve and to do more with less, right? Not less with less, and to kind of figure it out, use your resources, it actually puts you ahead of someone who may not have that problem solving experience, right?
Absolutely. So a lot of companies won't flat out come out and openly say that because, you know, there's
Correct.
equal opportunity.
Correct.
But you put two people together, and if one has the ability to problem solve and to make that decision quicker, make a better decision based off of some experience,
Yeah.
and knowing that it's okay,
Yeah.
compared to somebody who doesn't,
Yeah.
of course they're going to be a preferred hire because they're going to be more likely to work, more likely to accomplish the job on time, on target.
Yeah.
Why would I not hire them?
Yeah. You're not wrong. So, and then you talked about benefits too, which we laughed about the overtime because I told my wife when I first started flying outside the military, I said, yeah, I worked more than I was supposed to, and they're going to pay me more. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's bizarre because normally it's like, 14-hour duty days and you're deployed TDY. It is what it is, but
We know what it was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I loved it. I mean, honestly, it was a drug to me. I loved being around, the guys and girls, planning cell, different things. But at the end of the day, you look back, you're like, man, I worked a lot. Other than the pay, you talked about benefits. And again, we're going to get into the A&P stuff, but just to kind of color the environment first to get kind of like, why should I listen to this? I think this stuff's really cool because if you don't know, you don't know, right? Period. Right.
So we are taught about AMPs,
Yeah.
but we're not really taught about the benefits.
Right.
And like you said, we put in 12, 14, 16 hours. That's by Tuesday. We have a 40-hour work week by Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
We wouldn't change it. Don't get me wrong. It
Right.
sucked, absolutely. But I
Right.
had a blast.
Correct.
We absolutely had fun. I would never change it.
Yeah.
They asked me to do it again. Absolutely.
Yeah. We're considering the circumstances. Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
None of us will say no.
Correct.
But now it comes to what's on the other end, the benefits. It is so much different than being in the military.
So like what though? So pay is obviously a benefit, you get the parts and stuff, but like what are some other things that you saw kind of a contrast there?
So 6-figure jobs.
Yep.
You know how nice it is? I just went out over the weekend and I've been looking at buying a new motorcycle.
My man.
It's not, oh man, I'm going to have to save 6-8 years just to try to find the down payment. No, I wanted a new motorcycle. We went and got a new motorcycle.
Nice. Congrats.
6-figure job.
Yep. Yep.
There's health benefits. Granted, they're not as lucrative as the militaries because there's some trade-off with that.
Sure.
But most of these companies provide a very good medical package. Then there's what happens down the road in 40 years when I'm done with all this. That's when you start planning for your future, your 401ks.
Oh, there you go.
And these companies push this stuff,
Yeah.
and they give lots of money for these. There's no reason you should not be adequately prepared for your retirement if you actually start doing some investment. It is there,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Time off and vacation. Most of the aviation companies do not allow you to roll over vacation. In the
Okay.
military, you can keep rolling it over, rolling
for
it
sure,
over,
for sure.
and you can build it up.
Yep.
No, I want you to take the time off.
I need you
I
to take time.
refuse to let you turn this over. You will take the time off.
Wow.
And that also gets into that just a 40-hour work week.
Yeah.
It is not 120, 130,
Yeah.
140 hours. It is 40 hours.
Well, you're protected by, rules, policy, regulations. There's work rest cycles because not that the risk isn't there in the military, it is, but it's kind of make it work type thing. It's on the subordinate commanders thing. But you got rules, you got OSHA, you've got company policy, you've got retention considerations.
The Department of Labor now protects
That's
us.
right.
That's
That's
a
right.
new something we got to get used to.
Yes. I can't do this. Like, no, you can't. Like, you're going to get us all in trouble if you do that.
You mean I have protected work rights? You do now.
You do now, yeah. And the 401k is huge too, because I know some. I don't know all the airlines, but they'll do either matching or direct contribution. I mean, that's huge because obviously the military is great. They have their retirement packages, the TSPs. They've got the different programs, right? But to have that method, that vehicle for retirement and start planning for it is huge because it's a great benefit. I mean, 401ks are great for retirement.
And so when you join the military, you're young and dumb and you don't understand all this.
Yeah.
Now you get some experience under you. You realize that there's other options, other opportunities. 401k now becomes a really big player.
Nice.
Absolutely. And all the airlines, they have some type of matching. And we're not talking 1 or 2%.
Right.
We're talking 5, 6, 7% of a 6-figure job.
That's huge. That's huge. And aside from that, you have talking about the travel benefits. A lot of people People don't know. I actually don't know. I only know from hearsay. So this would be a great question for me. Do the below the wing, the maintainers, do they also get kind of flight benefits with that airline they're working on? Like, what does that look like?
Absolutely. So non-rev and travel, you absolutely
Non-rev.
do get
What's non-rev?
non-revenue travel. If there is an open seat, you can take it to fly somewhere.
Space A.
Space A is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But, you know, with an airline that's a little bit more scheduled, structured, that has places it goes to.
Yes.
Like I said, I just bought a new motorcycle. I bought it in Wisconsin.
Okay.
You think I paid for a plane ticket?
Nope.
I non-revenue. There was a flight available. It was Comfort Plus.
Yeah.
And I went and picked up my motorcycle.
Nice. For free.
For free.
And that's huge too, because depending on the airline, I mean, I used to commute to Atlanta, and there was 15 options, meaning there were 15 flights from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. between Nashville and Atlanta. So non-rev, to your point, it's like, well, hey, I need to get to Philly for a bachelor party or bachelorette party, whatever.
Vegas.
Vegas, yeah. So it's like, it's a one-time thing. No. Like if you go on the 8 a.m. flight, non-rev, right, Space A, and it's like, hey, we're full. Okay, the next flight's in an hour. Just go down to gate C5 and try to jump on that jet. You don't get on that one, jump on the next jet. Like it's not there's no limit to it, right? That's cool.
And you expand that. We're talking about U.S. stuff. Some of your larger carriers.
Nice.
American, United, Delta.
Let's go to France. Let's go to the Olympics.
One day we were bored at work. Imagine that happens sometimes. Everything was caught up. It was a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Yeah.
And we said, screw it. We hopped a flight, went to Japan, and drove go-karts.
You said drove go-karts?
Mario Kart. We absolutely did it. I don't make fun of us. Go ahead.
No, I love it. Listen, I play Mario Kart with my girls. We have a little Wii, old school Wii. It hasn't broken yet. But no, I'm there for it. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, we dressed up in Mario Kart costumes. I didn't care.
Yes.
Go ahead, judge us all you want.
No, I'll be there. Send me an invite. I love that. So just willy-nilly, I'm going to go to Japan. And
just because we could.
Just because you can.
That
That's
changes
profound.
now.
And that applies to you and like a spouse, or like, how does that?
Your immediate family.
Immediate family. Okay, so if I have my wife and 2 kids, if we wanted to go to, I don't know, Germany for Christmas Village or something like that, like my whole family can go.
Absolutely.
That's
and
fantastic.
Also to your parents.
Oh wow, you're direct parents there. That's cool. So that's huge. I love that, and I wanted to highlight the not the benefits. I mean, we don't do it necessarily for the benefits. You have to love the job. You have to want to do it. You have to be good at it, right, or want to be good at it. And that's a part of it, right? And where you live is also a part of it, and all of that. But the benefits help make that decision, where it's like, if you're comparing A or B or C, it's like, well, this one has way different pay, it has flight benefits, it has 401k, it has structure, protections by Department of Labor, all that stuff. It really makes it compelling to consider, because if you have that paradigm of this is what this job is like because you did it in the military, and you're wrong with that assumption, that's why we're here, is to say, hey, maybe we should reconsider it because it's not what you think it is.
It's absolutely not what you think it is.
Nice.
And most of us in the military, when we get out, we'll hem-haul about it and maybe get our A&P certificate 5-6 years down the road.
Yep.
But we'll never go back and really tell them what we're doing now.
Right.
They don't see that light through the tunnel.
Yep.
A few of the Air Force individuals and the Navy individuals, they get to see it because at Delta, we actually do some training for DOD.
Oh, nice.
So they'll actually get to talk to us.
Yeah.
And they'll actually get the experience, and they'll start working on it because they see what's at the end.
Yeah.
But what about everybody else?
Correct.
They don't get that.
Correct. So we'll dive into, you said A&P certificate. So this is great because hopefully for some of our viewers or listeners, like they may be in the same position as me. So I know that an A&P, Airframe and Powerplant.
Correct.
I know that much. I know that it's a FAA certificate. You get a card, just like the pilots do. And I know you have to go through like a school and you get the card, but like that's all I know. So
you don't even have to go through school.
See, so if you wouldn't mind, just start monologuing about what's the A&P, how do I, we'll meander, how do I get it, what's its value, what can I do? Because we had talked earlier, is that people think A&P equals airplanes, and you're like, you smile and you're like, no. So let's go there.
First, Airframe and Powerplant. That is your permission to work on anything that flies.
Okay.
What flies? Helicopters, airplanes. Dirigibles.
Dirigible, okay.
The spaceship. SpaceX, who do you think they're hiring? A&P mechanics,
wow.
because it's a requirement.
Wow.
So anything that flies is what we can work on.
Okay.
We also work on, expand this, because there is no cruise ship repair school.
Cruise ship, like the Carnival?
Yes.
Okay.
If you start applying what you learn in the military, fixing airplanes, you get into fiberglass, carbon fiber. You get into mechanical structures. Engines are all the same principles. You get into carbon hydraulics, pneumatics. It's all the same. It's on a cruise ship.
Okay. Okay.
They pay us to live on cruise ships, travel the world, and fix that boat. When somebody like me comes out to fix it, there's a big problem. Till that happens, it's somebody else's job.
Yep.
Absolutely, we are skilled labor.
Wow. I didn't know that.
The biggest employer of airframe and powerplant A&P mechanics, you will never even guess. They're not even in the aviation industry. The happiest place on earth.
Disney World.
What's a roller coaster?
It's not a plane. It's
Hydraulics, pneumatics.
yeah.
Electrical.
Yeah.
Man, it sounds an awful lot like an airplane. And you're putting people on this, shooting them at 110 miles an hour. You want somebody who has a skill that's used to working on stuff like that?
Yeah.
There's not a roller coaster repair school.
Wow. That's the A&P.
It's an A&P certificated mechanic.
I had no idea. I assumed that it was like what's your job? I'm a roller coaster tech.
Yeah. Where'd you get that skill? I kind of went to a maintenance school, and so basically an A&P school.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense now. I mean, like you said, hydraulics, pneumatics, electric, all that stuff.
All the same principles to us.
Wow.
And once you apply it, you either apply it to an airplane, you apply it to a train. There's no locomotive repair school. Who do you think they hire?
So trains, roller coasters, cruise ships, anything that flies.
Tesla?
No, Tesla?
You think about that. All self-driving car is what? What do we call that in an airplane?
Autopilot. My friend, my best friend.
What's the difference now?
I mean,
Because it has four wheels?
right.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. I had no idea.
It has hydraulics for the brakes. It's going to have electrical with the batteries, with the engines. Okay. All the principles, we learn all these set skills either going to get your A&P.
Yeah.
Big giant turbine windmills.
Okay.
All A&P.
Same. Wow.
Well, they actually want the P on that one because you're a big power plant.
Well, sure. But still, there's your point is, and I didn't know this. I mean, it makes sense when you say it, but your point is, A&P is the gateway to all of these engineering marvels, if you will, that involve the same subsystems, hydraulics, pneumatics, electric, and stuff. And the A&P is kind of the entry to get to those jobs.
So your A&P, so this is how I explain it to everybody.
Probably drones too, but drones fly, so that counts. So, yeah.
This is how we can even do submarines, whatever. You give me something, I can fix it. It doesn't really matter. If it comes with an engine, I have the skill set to fix it. When you go to automotive school, what they do, they train you to become an ASE certified mechanic, right? So the automotive schools, you kind of learn the car. Mm-hmm. When you go and get your certificate or your training for A&P, what we do is we learn automotive, because we learn all those skill sets. Then we start learning metal fabrication, which gets into auto body. Mm-hmm. So now I've already learned 2 more skill sets. Mm-hmm. More metal fabrication, we also learn how to weld. Even though it's a basic welding, you give me a stick, you give me a MIG, I can stick 2 pieces of metal together that won't come apart.
Yeah.
Is it going to be pretty? Probably not. But it will work, it will be safe, and we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
We learn a bigger, vastly huge skill set. We learn avionics. I can troubleshoot. I can use a meter. I can use TDRs. I can use megers. I can rebuild wiring harnesses. This is the skill set you get as an A&P mechanic.
Wow.
This is why we're hired and we're sought after, because stick me in an environment with some type of engine.
Yeah.
I can fix it.
I love that. And so for that regard, kind of circling back to what you said earlier, even if you're working in a motor pool, working on trucks, HEMTT trucks, I don't know, tanks, whatever the military folk have, I mean, you're very much in the arena. Yeah, you haven't touched an airplane, but the skill set of those subsystems are still there, and you can apply to...
You'll get a little bit... Yeah, so when you apply it to become an A&P, and this is what I tell a lot of people, at Delta, we do a lot of outreach to high schools. And I'll get a lot of individuals that were like, oh, I'm going to go to automotive industry. Not saying it's a bad industry. Not saying don't. But if you get your airframe and power plant instead, if you do switch over to an aviation industry, you will get the automotive section and this. You will get a lot more. You'll start learning about pressurization. You'll get a lot more avionics, electrical training. You'll start learning with radar. You'll start learning with cameras, and I could probably take apart half this stuff, and as long as I don't get too far into the circuit boards, I could probably fix it. I can determine which ones are bad.
Yeah.
That's the skill set you learn. So even our avionics technicians, you know, you think about that. They can go work on a cruise ship working on all the weather radar.
Yeah.
All the communication devices, work
that's
for the
true.
news crews.
Yes.
We get such a skill set that makes it worth it. And these are all translating into 6-figure jobs.
And frankly, too, in terms of demand, I mean, actually, you probably speak to it more than I can. The demand for that is high.
Around 700,000 mechanics
Yeah.
the industry needs.
Because you can't do the thing. You can't drive a cruise ship. You can't operate a roller coaster. You can't fly a plane. It doesn't work. And so for folks thinking, you know, oh, I don't want to do what I was doing, it's like, well, you're definitely sought after and you're needed. And in the civilian world, in a capitalistic society, which I love, they need to treat you right. They need to pay you right. They need to keep you to stay, get you to stay, because if not, their stuff doesn't work, right?
So we make jokes. We talk about pilots, and they have an autopilot system, right?
Love my autopilot.
And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. So the stigma is really if the pilot was removed for the flight deck, could you make the airplane fly? Well, you could.
Yes.
You get paid when something goes wrong.
Correct.
That's
You're
when
paid
you
for
make
what you can do, not for what you actually do, most of the time.
You make your money when something goes wrong.
Right.
We make our money 24/7 because there's always stuff for us to go fix.
That's a good, I've never heard that. That's a good way to see it.
You
You're
can
100% right, too.
The computer can fly the airplane.
Yes.
The computer cannot fix the airplane.
Right. No. That's awesome. So that's, I didn't know any of that. And it makes sense, too, because now I'm like, if you can't see, there's like, we're in downtown Nashville. I'm looking around and I'm just like, all these, there's probably something that someone needs to fix. There's just jobs everywhere. Now I see the world differently now because everything that moves, that has electric, pneumatics, all that stuff, like they need someone to fix them. That enter A&P, also enter, I have experience in the military. Not that, and again, I'm not going to get off on a resume speech, if you will, but not that is enough per se for you to just be hired on the spot. It helps, but you can't just come to the table with that, right? That's huge. So if somebody is, so they're in the military, Air Force, Navy, Army, whatever, and they're a maintainer or
We'll even include the Coast Guard.
We'll include the Coast Guard and Space Force, I guess. I don't know if they have aircraft, but they will eventually.
Spaceships.
Sure. Yeah, spaceships. Yeah, you're right. So if they're in or if they're transitioning out and they don't have an A&P, number one, why should they get it now, or should they wait? And how would they pay for it? What would be the benefits to getting before they get out? Where would they start? Like, what do I do? I want to do this. I love what you're saying. I want to be a part of it. I have maybe a year and a half left. Like, what would you tell me to do?
So there's 3 ways to get your A&P certificate. The first way is go through a school. Some of these schools now, Delta's even partnered with some, and we're getting the program down to 12 months. Now, don't get me wrong. It is a full, solid 12 months. It is a full-time job.
Sure.
So you're going to be busting your tail for the year.
So and you should, because it's hard. Okay.
So a school, 12, 18, 24 months, however you want to work that out.
Okay.
The other way is you can do a mentorship program. The mentorship program is you basically go shadow somebody for 3 years, and then you get permission to take your test, which we'll talk about in a second.
Okay.
Or in the military, you got to have 3 years verifiable experience. Again, that's kind of like the mentorship program.
Okay.
So that's your 3 ways. That is the only 3 ways that you can actually get your certificate.
Okay.
So if you want to go to school, most schools, quite a few schools are paid for by the VA. There's quite a few of them out there. If the VA does not pay for that school, the VA will pay for a prep course, a 2-week prep course, and they will pay for all the testing.
Oh, wow.
The testing is absolutely certificate or approved.
Yep.
So even if they just go, if they meet that 3-year mark, they can go and just take the test.
Okay.
To take the test, you got to go to your local FSDO, your local FOB.
Yep.
And they will sign off on your 8610s. That is your permission to take the test.
Okay.
You would go with your experience printed out. I know the Exo guys, 1/6 is what they started doing is they actually now have a program to track all your experience.
Okay.
They can print it out. They take it there, and they will sign off on your test. If you're missing something, this is why I tell them to start it early. If you're missing something, I can go over there and fix the deficiency.
Right.
I have time.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I have a couple questions, sorry, if you don't mind. So you said verifiable. I want to touch that word. And then you said the test is, real quick, is the test an online click test? Is it a practical, like you have an A22 cargo bag at aerosol school and you have to find the 6 deficiencies? Or is it like a online, kind of like a pilot test?
You ready?
Yeah.
And we have a word in the South. It's called both 'em.
Both of them. Both of them.
Both of them. It's one word.
Okay.
It's both of them.
Good.
So if you qualify, if you go to the feds and you get your permission to take off your airframe and your power plant, there is a general test. It's a written test online, multiple choice, 100 questions.
Yep.
Your power plant, your airframe is 60. Your power plant is 60. So there's a written test.
Sure.
Once you pass all 3 of those, you can also just get your airframe or just your power plant, depending on what you want to do.
Okay.
Once you pass that, you will go to a DME, a designated mechanic examiner. Okay. They will have what they call an oral and a practical. Okay. So now they will ask you a whole bunch of questions to make sure that you understand it.
Yeah.
And then they will actually give you projects and have you go accomplish them.
Okay.
Now that's where we all run for the hills.
Correct. Yeah.
That test is really not what you make it out to be.
Okay.
We stress ourselves out about it. We get nervous about it. We overcomplicate the test.
I do.
Every one of us.
Test, I'm sweating.
Every one of us. So I work in the department I work in. There's a branch there's somebody from every branch. And when we go to take the test, we talk about it the same way.
Sure.
We overcomplicate it. Once you're done with it, oh man, that really wasn't that bad. No, it actually wasn't. Somebody was literally asking you aspects of your job that you've been doing for at least the last 3 years.
Yeah. No, and I do that. I every eval I get, I'm nervous Nancy, or whatever, studying up. The if I'm not mistaken, the computer test, is that, because I know a lot of the military bases have testing facilities. Is that plug and play, same? Okay, and then
basically
you got to go somewhere else.
You got to go to a testing site, right? Which every base, every post has one.
Okay,
usually at the schoolhouse.
Yeah.
And they'll log in and the test is monitored. I'm just letting you know they're going to have a camera on you, on your phone. And
Same FAA test as everyone. Yeah. No, and that's good. And
we have the questions, we have the databases. You can study for this.
The prep course, like you said, because that's the thing too, is like, hey, what do they ask you? It's like, hey, here's a study guide. Here's what they ask you. So, and I bring that up. I didn't know that was going to be the answer, but for folks out there that it's like, hey, what's the distance between me and where I want to be and what I want to do? If you have that experience, and I want to get to the word verified here in a minute. If you have that experience and you have the testing site on post in an encouraging way, you have no excuse. You have no excuse to not pursue this. Yes, you have to find the DME and study for the practical and the oral, but up until that point, go schedule your test. It's on post.
Go to the FAA and get your 8610-3s.
Yeah.
And so they will sign that off. Even if they don't sign it off, they'll tell you what you need. Most of them are pretty relaxed about it, especially with the military.
Yeah.
And there is actually a skilled translator on that will tell you your MOS will translate from this to this.
Like if I'm on a phase team, they'll say this counts for
your A and your P.
Wow.
Go take your A and your P. This only counts for your A. This only counts for your P. Okay, so I can take my P. I can go test it, start getting my certificate while I work on my A.
Correct. Wow. Okay.
There's no reason not to. And that knowing what I know now, it is so frustrating not to.
Yeah.
Even if you throw your hands up and say, I'm done with computers. I'm done with aircraft. I'm done.
Yeah.
Look at all these other industries.
Yeah.
You're guaranteed a job to support your family for the rest of your life. That certificate will never expire. Why not?
Good question. I don't know.
For 6 figures, why not?
Oh, right. Why? Yeah, exactly.
Any industry you go into, we're basically going to be paid somewhere around there.
Yes. I had no idea. So the 8610s, the word verified, you said verified hours. So unpack that. So I'm a Black Hawk crew chief. I was in DECO maintenance company for a while, jumped over, now I'm a crew chief. Maybe did some phases. I just do dailies. I don't have a logbook though. I don't know what an 8610 is. You said start early. Like, unpack that. Like, how do I do that? What do I do?
So there's a couple of different ways. When I got out, I took my 214. I actually had a 215 because we had to correct it.
Oh, okay.
And I went over to the FESDO.
Okay.
And I said, here is my experience. Here is my verifiable. I was in the military doing this job for 6+ years.
Okay.
Well, you need 3. So then they say, okay. Their next question is, okay, then what did you do? Well, I did maintenance. I did some sheet metal repairs. I did some electrical work. I did some boroscopes when the engine broke. We took engines off. We put engines on. You know, we tear down. We built up. I did swash plates. I did rotors. Okay. And they had me write it all out.
Okay.
And I met the requirement because I could speak intelligently, basically about my job that I did.
Yeah, every day.
Every day. So they said, great. And they signed it off.
Yeah.
A lot of these individuals, when I went down in Fort Worth, actually the person who signed me off was my first sergeant from AIT.
Really?
So he goes, I know what the training is. So you actually did this and you did this. Oh, I did do that. And he goes, make sure we put that down. These are some of the key indicators that we need.
Okay.
So there's people out there, we will help you. So that's not only do I get the time certificate, which you can, you know, you can print out, you can get a memo from the commander. This is what I've been doing. The 160s guys, what they actually do is they actually have a way to type in your number and print out your stuff.
Okay.
So this is what I've been doing too. Now I have basically a verifiable logbook per se. This is what I've been doing.
I see.
And where they're trying to roll that out to all of the Army, trying to get that accounted for.
Yeah.
But going in there and talking intelligently about it, they will accept it.
So the first stop is I talk to a person, and I say what I did, and they kind of interpolate for me. Right at the end, we'll say after 6 years and all that stuff. If I wanted
3
or 3, right? But if I did it for 6, I only need 3. If I chose to do what the regiment's doing, what does that entail? So I'm trying to, in other words, if someone is maybe 2 or 3 years out from getting out, and they want to start, hey, I want to start a logbook. What is that? Is that and I have no idea. I am not. This is not a loaded question. Is it like a pilot logbook, and you say I changed a section drive shaft?
Keeping it very basic and simple.
It's just
yes.
This many hours signed by my platoon sergeant or something.
You don't even got to do that.
Okay.
You do the work. When you go to sign it off in Alt-A in the computer, you can just hit the print button.
Interesting. Oh, okay. So log in an Alt-A, you have your CAT card in there, and you sign off that particular logbook item, and that counts.
Boop. And you can print it out, stick it in the binder.
Yeah.
Oh, did you do that?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Sure enough. Interesting. Because for folks that, some folks like me, just because this is how I think, is if I can have a guy at the end just kind of like figure it out and I tell him what I did, you know, from a pilot side, like, oh, I did, you know, sling loads and paradrops, and okay, that counts. For someone who wants to wait till the end to do it, that option is available to them. You said the FSDO would help with that. But someone who's like, hey, I actually want to get like a logbook and kind of do it, or maybe they're close to that 3 years where they're like gonna barely make that 3 year mark, and they really want to have to see if there's any gaps, right? Early.
That's why I said start early.
Interesting.
Because you do your 3 years, you know you meet the requirements. Get online, see what your job transitions to, A, P, or A and P.
Right.
Start working on it, because there's always some deficiencies that we need.
Yeah.
And you have, most of the aviator careers, they're 6-year contracts.
That's true.
So you start at the 3 year mark. Oh, crap, I need to fill in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so RTAG, one of the events, Rotors to Airline Group.
Love RTAG. Shout out RTAG.
I've been hammering. So last year, when all the commanders came in, they were transitioning from the military to a pilot.
Yeah.
And I hammered them. What are you doing for your maintainers? Well, you see, that's not the answer.
Correct.
I've been on their tails. Now they're encouraging them. They're going to start working with you more and more, because this year again, in October, RTAG, come see us.
Yep.
I'm going to hammer them again. What are you doing?
Good.
Last year I talked to you about it. What did you do this year? Did you encourage them? Are you allowing them?
Yeah.
They are being a lot better. I've been going on some of the bases, some of the installations.
That's awesome.
They are being a lot more forthcoming, allowing you the ability to start chasing this A&P.
That's so good. And I'm glad you said that too, because what I was going to mention is for folks who are, we'll say they're at the beginning of their maintenance career, right? They just got in and they're like, well, I did the Army to get the GI Bill or serve country, whatever your reasons are, awesome, right? But they're still kind of at the infancy of their experience report, if you will. To think through, it's like, hey, if this is a goal of yours, you know, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you know, maybe you could ask, you know, your chain of command, hey, can you put me in this back shop, or can you put me on the phase team? Like, you can almost, and obviously the military, you know, you do what you're told, stuff like that, but you can strategically ask for certain things so you can posture yourself to get those experience things checked off, such that when you're done, you're not like, well, I would have done this, but I never got this job. It's like, yeah, but did you ask for it?
Did you ask for it? Did you put it on your evaluations?
Exactly. And because I'm sure if you're like, hey, can I help with, and I keep saying phase because I'm the least mechanically inclined person in this state.
That's fine.
I'm sure. I say phase. If you never asked to be on a phase team and you're like, hey, can I help out with phase? I'm sure they would be like, sure. They're not going to turn down, you know, help.
When I got in, I went to Alaska. I know they sent the Texas guy to Alaska. I upset somebody.
Yeah, what happened there?
On phase teams, and we would have people come over from the flight line, from the flight teams, and they would come over and they would help parts of the phases. We're not going to tell them no.
So it's taking control of your career at a certain point. I understand. Again, I speak out of both sides of my mouth. I understand you're in the military. You do what you're told. You do what you're assigned to do. But if there's, I should say, and if you have the ability to kind of massage where you are to posture yourself, just raise your hand.
There is no reason, and I bring this up and I talk to the commanders, and it's like, you think about that because you're commander, right? Mm-hmm. There is no reason you can't lose 1 or 2 guys.
Correct.
You would not even notice if they went out on, not in the military, long-term disability.
Right.
They got put on a permanent profile for 2 years. Would it even affect your readiness? So why can't you send those 2 guys?
Correct. I mean,
I understand what we can't. No, you really can.
Well, and frankly, too, I mean, the cross-pollinations with, you know, sister units and battalions and such, and frankly, if someone were to come to me with a question like that, as a commander, I'd be like, where's your platoon sergeant? Where's your squad leader? Because I'm not going to say, you know, squad leader, allow him, you know, I'm going to say, hey, come in here. Like,
aviation's different.
True.
I've had many conversations with my commander without anybody around.
That's fair. And I'd be more than happy to have the conversation, but in terms of not even having to get to that level, it should just be like your first line, second line supervisor saying, hey, would you mind if I did this? Like, yeah, man, no problem. We got you. We'll cover it out.
Most of them won't.
See, that's weird.
And we know that. So when you get into aviation specifically, you get into people that tend to score higher on the ASVAB, have these intelligence.
Yeah.
They're not your basic soldiers.
Yeah.
If we're fighting, something really screwed up.
Yeah.
It's not our job.
Correct.
So we tend to, absolutely have that conversation. Start with your platoon sergeant, your squad leader. Most of us, it's just platoon sergeants and our platoon leader. We already have that open conversation.
Right.
Start having that. Have them send you. Nobody, to my experience, when I've actually prompted this question to them, they had no logical or valid reason to say no.
Right. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, if there are obviously exceptions to that. There's in extremis, there's contingencies and stuff like that. But for the most part, day in and day out, I agree with you. So two more kind of big questions here. So the first one is, if someone, the question is the progression, the job options, opportunities. If someone says, hey, I don't want to be changing a nose wheel tire, you know, for the rest of my life, you know, what about a line supervisor or a senior mechanic, you know, the progression, if you will, of an A&P throughout their career? Like, what does that look like?
Okay, so when you want to get into that, so get your A&P. So make sure you do your school or you test out. You do the testing, you take your experience, you get your A&P.
Okay.
Stick it in your back pocket and you keep it for later. I don't care. That is a fallback you will always have to provide for your family. Okay. I can't stress that enough.
Good.
If you get hired as an A&P, there is not just jobs. You think about these airlines, there's not just mechanic jobs. And especially at Delta, they have started learning and grasping that your mechanics are really, really good at problem solving. So COVID happened. No airplanes were flying, right?
Right.
Oh, well, there's a contract to build pods for the military. Can y'all do that?
Pods?
Pods. Isolation pods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So can y'all weld? Yeah?
Yeah, we can.
Can you lay electrical and piping and air filtration systems? Yeah?
Also, yeah.
Yeah. Can you make them in certain designs? Can you read blueprints and build this? Yeah. What do you need? Okay, cool. Now there's a shortage of masks. Y'all make masks? Yeah, we can modify the equipment. Absolutely. You want masks? Okay. We pumped out masks. We pumped out whatever you needed us to do. Would you want? Give it to me. I'll make it.
Yeah.
That's skill set.
Yep.
So they learn that. So you can become a mechanic, into a lead mechanic, into a shift manager or station manager. They're all certificated mechanics. And you're even the senior VP of Tech Ops at Delta has an A&P certificate.
Wow. Okay. So it's not like if you get this is where you stay forever. It's like, no. That's just the barrier to entry, if you will, for the progression of that particular career field.
Absolutely.
I love that. I'm laughing because my brother, whenever you're talking like that, I laugh because my brother as a maintenance guy is the same way. I feel like mechanics are like magicians, and I feel so dumb because if you were to ask me, like, can you do this with these equipment? I'd be like, no idea. I could probably watch YouTube and maybe figure it out. But the mechanics skill set of problem solving with real life applicable things, not conceptual, not creative, not, what's your goals or your key core values. It's like, no. Like I can make that work in 6 hours. Like I laugh because that is a skill I do not have. And it's brilliant. I love it.
We have a high mechanical aptitude, and I tell people to be a mechanic, usually something has to be wrong with you because you can't have a high mechanical aptitude and high personalities.
Yeah.
No, something has to give.
Yes. Yeah, that's not me. Oh man, I love that though because it really emphasizes the value of the A&P certification. It really emphasizes the value of kind of a mechanic at large because they're not a one-trick pony. It's like if you need it, if it moves and it's a modern day piece of equipment, like I can get in there and probably fix it or build it or whatever.
So you
That's
think
cool.
about the equipment, and this is the big thing that we talk about. So you're a pilot, you get on the airplane, you have 150 people that you're in charge of. I've touched 4 airplanes that are 350s that house over 370 people each. That's over 1,000 people I have responsible for, and that was just Monday.
That was. See, that's what I'm talking about. Is that I when you say it, it's like, yeah, that makes sense. But before now, it just didn't click. And so, and I love you coming here to tell everyone that is that it's not military maintenance. I mean, it's way more, almost more important than the pilot's job, because the pilot just take the plane that flies itself and goes from point A to point B, but everything that gets it safe and working correctly and MELs and sign off and all that stuff, like that's not us.
So on the ground, you're absolutely right. It's
Yeah.
us. You, like I said earlier, you make your money when you're in the air. You have to make those critical decisions with no backup. I got support. It's on the ground. I can go get parts. I can have time. I have leisure. I can make decisions. I don't have to make that decision in 30 to 45 seconds.
Right.
So that is a different skill set.
It is. But still, though, I don't want to say this, well, not superstitious. So the problem solving is generally not creative problem solving. So obviously the Hudson Miracle, I would say, was creative problem solving. I'm going to put it in the water opposed to Teterboro, right? That was a snap decision. I would say arguably creative to a certain degree because no one wants to put it in the water.
Well, the water had a bigger runway.
Exactly. So even then, it's creative, maybe not, because it's literally the only place I could land right at the moment. But in terms of that, I mean, again, not to downplay the value of the pilots, but we have FOMs, we have checklists, we have dispatch, we have maintenance, we have A-Rank, we have reach back, we have all these tools and these people and these teams, right? Expand the cockpit of problem solving, which is great. But in terms of like really having to solve this riddle, like a maintainer potentially has to do. I understand there's work packs and stuff there too. It's just different, and I appreciate the guys like yourself who are minded that way because I don't even know where I would begin. I mean, I'm not built like that. I'm not mechanically minded. So, but
problem solvers.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it is. So the one of the last things I want to talk about too was we had talked earlier about different things about in terms of. You said schools, you said 24-month, you said you can do a 3-year sort of left seat, right seat internship, and then you say there's the military, we'll call it like accreditation program, or if you have 3 years in the military, you can go FSDO and they can say, yep, you did these jobs, you have a gap here, go do that, and then you're good. You take your written test on post, no excuse, and then you schedule to do your oral and your practical, and then you have your A&P, right? What are some options for people out there who, to go to a school, right? We talked about the school in Dallas. You guys have a pipeline, which again is highlighting Delta and their pipeline, but there are many. Unpack that. If someone's like, I'm getting out, I want to do a skill bridge and pursue this. What's an example of something they could do?
So Delta doesn't have an active skill bridge program. What we're looking at is okay, so skill bridge is a set way, right? Mm-hmm. You got to be at your last year basically, or last 6 months.
Right.
I think that's what it is. You start with the year, they identify the job or they identify the career field. The last 6 months you start going to it. Mm-hmm. We feel that there's a better way to do that. Mm-hmm. We're looking at different programs. Like right now, we give pilot conditional offers up to 2 years out from their military.
Nice.
Why can't we do certain things like that for the mechanics? Now you're exceeding the skill bridge program. Mm-hmm. So there's different ways to handle that. And that's what we're venturing and we're looking at.
Sure.
For people, I mean, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. Even if you do there's a few of them that you can do the skill bridge programs. And the one in Dallas U.S. Aviation Academy, mm-hmm. They have a third party they skill bridge with. The skill bridge will send them there for the first 2-3 weeks mm-hmm. to do their prep course, to do the testing and everything. And then they will help place them in with an internship so they can start getting used to it. Mm-hmm. So there is lots of ways to do it. Even if you don't want to do a skill bridge program, you can just go to the school. Mm-hmm. They're looking at now maybe an 8-month program, trying to even expedite this. But if you meet the qualifications, you can just test and start working.
Yeah.
You can get as soon as you pass the test, your DME will issue you a temporary license.
Yeah.
That is good to get a job.
It's paper copy. Yep.
That's it.
And I'm glad you brought that up because I know we BreakTurn, we're the third party provider for U.S. Aviation Academy. It's one of our best schools there, and we send people there all the time. In a good way, they are able to go, whether they haven't done maintenance in a while, maybe they had a staff job or whatever, and they want to get brushed up before their practical or whatever.
Absolutely.
But the point of me bringing this up is the so what, right? So we're having a conversation. We started with benefits. We started with the jobs that the AMP.
Why to do it?
Yeah, why to do it exactly. We talked about getting the certificate gets you access to these jobs: cruise ships, roller coasters, planes, Tesla, all that stuff, spaceships. And then we talked about kind of what's involved to get it, right? This last piece is all right, by golly, I'm doing it, but what do I do, Landon? And it's, hey, first of all, collect the data, figure out what do you need. Maybe go to your FSDO and do that initial check, that rudimentary check, for them to say, hey, this all looks good, you're missing this.
Absolutely.
Right? And then go get that thing. And then if you need to do a skill bridge, which again, you don't have to do, but do a skill bridge, contact BreakTurn. Hey, I'm a mechanic. I want to get my AMP. I understand you guys have a skill bridge program where I can get that. What do I need? One-stop shop. All the paperwork, the approvals, where you go, what it takes, all that stuff. Like, put yourself in a position to win, right? Success is defined by the steady accumulation of advantages. Using your skill bridge, using BreakTurn, using what Nick's been saying is doing the thing. I always say it's no excuse to not take your computer tests. I'm serious. Go take the test, man.
They frustrate me so much.
Go take the test. I don't like tests either, but go study. There's study sources available. It's 2024. The answer's probably on the internet.
Not doing it frustrates me. It bothers me so much.
Go do the thing, and like Nick said, I mean, put that in your back pocket. And you have it. We did that. We did that in flight school, actually. So in flight school at Rucker, formerly known as Rucker, Nova Vosel is what it's called now.
They had the whole name change.
Yeah, they had exactly. They would, when you finished, I think flight school 21, there was a place you went where you studied and you took like 100 question tests, and they gave you your rotor commercial license, your FAA license. And as a young person, you're like, I don't know, but everyone's like, yeah, you need to do it. So you go and do it. I don't even know if I have my card anymore. I probably lost it. But on IACRA, I still have that license. So I put it in my back pocket, if you will, until I was done with the military. And then I pulled it out. And I'm like, oh, I could use this if I need to.
If you want to.
If I want to. So in the same way, even if you're not 100% sure you want to do it, go do the things, especially if you're actively in maintenance now. You're sharp. You can talk the language. You're saying swash plates and bifilers and stuff. It's like, yeah, I still remember some of that stuff, but don't delay 6 years, like you were saying, some people, because I'm not going to go do maintenance anymore. And now you're having to study up again because it's been so long since you've turned a wrench.
COVID happens and you're looking for a job.
Yes. So taking action. If you know me for a minute, I'm a big action taker. Or what's the next thing? Like, I close the book or I hang up the phone. Like, what am I going to do immediately after that? What's my next action item? Maybe it's calling BreakTurn. Maybe it's calling someone who is an A&P. Hey, how do you like your job? Maybe it's calling a local flight school. Hey, do you have maybe some internships or job openings? Maybe it's calling your platoon sergeant. Hey, I'd like to switch over to sheet metal or the phase team or whatever. Like doing something with the information that we got today. If you take away one thing, it's take action for that. Because at the end of the day, you can stick it in your back pocket and not use it, but you have it, which is the biggest part.
And here's another thing that most people don't realize. You know how many mechanics have their PPL, their private pilot license?
No.
Most of us.
Really?
Because
I guess.
Because I fix the most expensive part of getting flight time is flying.
Yes.
Maintaining the aircraft, which is a skill set that I have and I can legally do.
Yes.
I can cut my maintenance costs down.
Oh.
I just now got to pay for gas.
That's it. So the annual and all that stuff.
You know how often we do it? We trade. Most of us have PPLs.
Really?
We fly because we like to. It's enjoyable.
Correct.
I hate people. I am not going to put a plane full of passengers.
Yeah.
It is never going to be. But some people, some maintainers are like, no, I want to be a pilot. You already have the skill set to be a mechanic. Use that, fix planes to get your pilot license.
And the thing, too, is I tell folks if they're worried about, so say I'm a military person, I don't have my pilot rating in the military, so the long road to, we'll say the airlines or to a commercial helicopter company, right, is years because the time build, 1,500 hours or more, right, and it's expensive.
ATP, yep.
I always tell, ATP mints. I always tell folks, if you're an A&P and you can legally work on aircraft, if I'm a flight school owner and I was like, hey, I'll fix your planes, don't pay me, but I want flight time. Or I want discounted flight time.
Most schools will give you free flight time.
That's what I'm saying.
Plus pay you.
That's what I'm saying. That's awesome.
Because,
I wish I could do that, but I'm too dumb.
Well, when you go to a base, to hire a mechanic for GA, the average rate for private mechanics is like $120, $130 an hour. So I'll pay you $40 an hour plus give you free flight training.
Right. See, that's profound. I love that. Well, I think we covered a lot of stuff we want to talk about. I think we covered everything. The A&P, what it is, what you can work on, how you go about getting it, right? The benefits of being an A&P, even if you don't necessarily use it initially. We talked about kind of maybe a career progression. If someone's like, I don't want to be walking around with shop towels my whole life, that's fine. There's, management, vertical management up to vice president of tech ops, right? If that's something you're interested in. Ways to repair, we talked about whether getting the 8610s, whether it's getting your actual logbook, using OLS-A, 3 years of experience, using GI Bill, Skill Bridge, right? Using your transition period to, come to BreakTurn, send to U.S. Aviation Academy in Dallas, and just get the ball rolling. And hopefully through this, and it really was for me, and I was really excited for this interview because Walker told me about your briefing, and I'm like, dude, I had no idea, man. I had none of that. Hopefully this interview kind of inspired you to say, I didn't know all of that, and now I'm interested. I want to learn more, and it inspired you to take action.
So you were shocked.
Yeah.
Walker was shocked, and he does maintenance.
Oh. See?
We don't know.
We don't know
what we don't know.
And that's one of our primary roles here is education and to help people transition because when you're in the compound and you're in the trenches, you don't get a chance to pick your head up and look at what I need or what the options are until it's too late. Now you're 6 months out from getting out and you're like, I guess I'll do this. When it's like, no, man, educate yourself, go seek out that goal and go do the things you need to do. So
absolutely.
I love that. So let's see here. I think that was it. Did we miss anything? Anything we didn't talk about?
But, they just need to go do it. Even if they don't use it, need it, not have it, then I want to have it, not need it, then need it and not have it.
Yeah. It's like Garth Brooks or something like that. Or it's a country song. But no, I love it. Well, I appreciate you coming out here. Again, you'll be staying we got a little pop-up mixer here in Nashville. About 50 people will be here just to learn from Nick. We got a couple other partners here that'll be just giving good, again, education, solid advice. What's the industry doing? I want to fly helicopters. We got 3 helicopters coming. James O'Neill will be here talking about the industry. We've got, Nick here talking about maintenance. I mean, we've got plenty of resources for people to, if you pay attention and you want to ensure your future success, start listening in, start figuring out what sounds good to you. And then if you're asking yourself at the end, you should be saying, what do I need to do next? And if you don't know, ask somebody and go take action with that. So
come find us. You're going to be at RTAG.
I'll be at RTAG.
I'm going to be at RTAG in October in Dallas. Come find us. Come talk to me.
Come to RTAG. You know, I say it, you know, in the real estate community, your network is your net worth. So network with folks, talk with folks, come say hi to Nick. Hey, listen to the podcast. Like, I love what you said. Appreciate you, right? Shake hands, right? Network. So do the thing, show up, take action. But yeah, thanks a lot.
I'll give you my business card at RTAG if they come and see me.
Let's go. I love it. See, right there. Go. Literally a direct connection. I mean, that's awesome. I love this. I love aviation. I love the military. So, well, great. Well, yeah, appreciate your time. And we'll have to do this again sometime soon.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Landon.
All right. Thanks, man. See you guys.